So welcome to the Upbeat Hang. We hope you're enjoying our shows. Please like, subscribe, share, and all that kind of stuff. Today we are celebrating the end of COVID-19 summer, the summer of 2020. To you, summer, we say thank you for the laughs, for the tears. Adios, adieu, later. What was your favorite thing this summer, Ken?
My favorite thing this summer?
Yeah, what was the favorite thing?
Clearly seeing all the people I had. Wow, these things are so weird to look at this.
Yeah, I'm done with this. Thank you.
Can I take mine off too?
Well, this is almost like Apollo, folks. We're in orbit. We're taking our helmets off. What are we doing? Hold on.
So what was your favorite thing? What happened to you this summer that you really enjoyed?
I think the best thing was seeing people again after the hiatus. That was my favorite thing, because I think people are really, despite the fact that you watch the media and there's a lot of negative stuff all over the place, I don't think people are really that negative. I think they're struggling. I think a lot of people are struggling, but they're trying. I really do think they're trying, and I don't think there's enough emphasis on that fact. So it was good to see a lot of people out, and I know a lot of people are going to work through this, and I would like to think that we will work better, if you will, as a societal team, and do a better job in helping one another. But my advice, and I guess not that anyone asked, but my biggest thought is just don't lose the personal connection. Don't lose the contact. Don't substitute electronic communication. That's what I also learned, and I spoke to a lot of people, and I got the same feeling back. So I would say seeing all the people again in one form or another, running into them, seeing them at a gig, seeing them at a game, or whatever it is, that was my favorite part.
Nice. And Amy, what about you?
I have to go with something similar to Ken. Definitely seeing people out again and really supporting live music, supporting the restaurant industry to try to get them back on their feet. I also love the fact that many families were, let's just say, forced to spend time together, and they were reminded that family really is quite important, and that it is not about where can I go next. They were forced to stay home, forced to find things to do with each other. I also enjoyed a lot of, outside of COVID, a lot of the water sports, kayaking, paddleboarding. I mean, that was trying to keep things kind of normal, which was great. And I have to agree with Ken on the electronic use. It needs to be reduced. Unfortunately, what I have seen, being a mother of 3 little ones, is that the electronics really did take over, because there was no other way for them to socialize. Mm. So I'm actually thrilled to be getting kind of back into the way things were prior to COVID, and putting the electronics aside again and not needing electronics in order to socialize.
Duke?
Nice. For me personally, I thought the summer was phenomenal in terms of the beach. I got to do a lot of beaching, and the water was amazing. One day, I think we saw, I don't remember exactly, but it was roughly 50 different dolphins.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was amazing. The water's been so clear, and usually in August, the jellyfish invade. And this year they did not invade. So I'm glad that they're afraid of COVID, because it's been so beautiful.
Well, it could have been my in-laws were at the beach too. You ruled that out.
Other than that, I just think it's been, it's in a lot of ways, it's been a normal summer. The summer crowds, I live close to the beach. The summer crowds have been normal. The restaurants have had a lot of good weather that they could have people outside and have, customers eating. So I thought it was really good. Now, granted, I feel for all those who didn't have a circumstance where they could have people outside. And I know there's so many people, and I don't mean in any way, shape, or form to downplay the pain, the financial hardship that they're going through, because I can't imagine how horrible that is. But on the upside, I saw a lot of real fun summer happenings happen. So that's about it for me.
I thought that both for both of you, it's well said. I thought, Duke, you made a really good point, which was that I thought that they did make a good effort to come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like we started with the support of the, society going to these restaurants.
Right.
It was incredible. Some of them, actually, this was their best year ever. The ones that are normally outdoor places, they did their best season yet, some of the places. So where it's only for those, I want to specify, those who are strictly outdoor to begin with. And the indoor ones, of course, they're not open yet, but they've done a very good job in putting tents up and, staffing the places and making them, desirable to go to.
I would agree with you. I think they've done a really good job, and it's good to see people come back. I'm just really curious if you guys don't happen to see anything coming across my screen while you're not saying anything.
I giggled.
Anyway, no.
You are a drummer.
I thought the summer turned out a lot. Well, I'll put it this way: if you would have asked me in March, it came out a lot better than I thought it would come out. I'll put it that way. Which is encouraging. So listen.
Oh, definitely.
Onward and upward, right? We're in this weird world of sports now, and ordinarily, I believe the NFL will get started in just a matter of weeks. I assume it's going to start. I heard now the first week may be put off or whatever. But one of the things that everyone loves to do, though, and everyone can do even if they don't follow football, is pick a Super Bowl winner and make some predictions before the season starts, and we're doing that. So, Duke and Amy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to Duke. Duke, I know you are a Seahawks fan.
Yes, I am.
So before the season starts, what are your thoughts?
There are a lot of really, really good teams this year. It's going to be a tough season. If the season goes as it normally does, meaning, all the players are playing and competitions occur the way they are planned to occur, they're going to be competing at a high level. There's so many good teams this year. I think I have to put it aside because I'm a Seahawks fan. I always think they're going to be a contender, and with Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, it's hard to ever count them out. Last year, everybody counted them out at the beginning of the season because, it was all inexperienced players, blah, 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 and yet they were in the playoffs. So I'll never count the Seahawks out.
Okay. That is a supportive fan right there.
That is.
Absolutely.
Now, hold on. Now, let's be clear. Are you going with the Seahawks for your pick?
No,
but you think that they'll be a contender?
absolutely.
Okay. I like
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
So, do you want to give us a pick? You want to give us a forecast?
I actually think Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, you took my answer.
Wait,
Well,
let me
Amy,
guess your answer, Amy.
Amy, if that's Duke's answer, we heard his reasoning. What's yours then?
Okay, so here's the deal. Tom Brady, 6 Super Bowls? You need to attach another finger to his hand if he wants to wear all those rings on the one hand. And I think that he, not only is he a superb player, but he's also a superb leader. And that is what is needed in order to win the Super Bowl. You need to have somebody like him who the teammates would like to follow in order to win. I don't believe that the Pats could have won as many Super Bowls as they did without Tom Brady. So I think that wherever he goes is where the win is going to be.
And how much weight, if I could just ask, I'm just out of curiosity. Now that Gronk is back in Tampa Bay and he's back with Tom Brady, does that influence you, or are you going pretty much on Tom Brady?
I'm going with Tom.
That heavily influences me. I don't think that that actually changes my choice without Gronk. If he gets hurt, then I'm going with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Wait a minute, hold it. If Gronk gets hurt, you're going with the Chiefs.
Yep.
So
I think
is your
I
pick?
think
I'm confused. Is your pick Seattle or Tampa Bay?
my pick is Tampa Bay, and I
Oh,
think
okay.
if Tampa Bay loses Gronk, I don't think that they'll win the Super Bowl. I think it'll end up being the Chiefs that win the Super Bowl.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, folks, I grew up on sports radio, so I just have to divulge. I don't think you guys will know what I'm talking about. But with the callers, Michael! Michael, with the callers! You can't pick the Giants! Okay, dog. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, dog. I grew up on Mike and the Mad Dog. I love them. I think you have to go with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs because they're the odds-on favorite. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. And
That's
usually
questionably.
Well, it depends. Most experts seem to. I'm not saying he is. I'm not qualified, but most experts say he's the best at the game right now. So we're going to see what's going to happen. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs now. Just so we know, because I checked this, the Chiefs are a 5-1 odds winner favorite. The Ravens are second at 6-1. The 49ers are third at 9-1. Tampa Bay, who you both picked, is a 10-1 favorite. And just out of curiosity, if you go all the way down to the Seahawks, they are a 20-1 favorite. And if anyone is asking, like, who is the last, the Jacksonville Jaguars are 200-1, and the New York Giants are 125-1, and the Jets are actually 80-1. I'm surprised the Jets are that much higher than the Giants. So
Wow.
I am going to say I don't think, as much as I respect Brady and Gronk, I think to replicate that success in another area, a la A-Rod, the experiences with A-Rod, it's very hard to move without the same coach, without that Hall of Fame coach, and do it again. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Okay.
And the season's going to be underway very soon. So like you said, hopefully, and I noticed with college football, they're going back and forth. We're playing, we're not playing. High school's playing, not playing. Then they're shorter games. So I think it's going to be interesting just to see if they even get a season in. And by the way, I wanted to ask you both, not that I paid a lot of attention, have you guys watched any sporting events at all of any kind?
No.
I have not watched any sporting events. I have seen them on while I'm, playing a gig. And I have to say, it's really strange to see an event with no audience at all.
I was just going to ask what you both thought about that, not about the sport itself, but in just even looking at just in passing, does it look strange? Although, you know what I'm getting used to? I'm getting used to the cardboard cutouts because I look at them real quick. I'm like, oh, I recognize that guy. There's one of Duke at Yankee Stadium, I heard.
I'm all over. I'm like, there's 50 of me. They put.
Yes,
sometimes I'm wearing
that's
a hat. Sometimes I have no hat. In basketball, I've seen clips of basketball where they have video screens of fans, and they have fan sounds happening. It's weird. It's a weird
So strange.
Well,
thing. It's
what's fascinating, because I read about this. They actually have piped in music, and they've crowd sounds.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they've had to adapt it because remember there are home games and away games, and what's really bizarre is I don't know if you both know this, the Mets were playing the Yankees yesterday in Yankee Stadium, but the Mets were considered the home team, so they had to, it's a fascinating dichotomy of what they're doing with all these sounds and everything else to try and equalize it, and it's strange. I mean, I think under the circumstances they're doing pretty good.
It's weird.
It's got to be so difficult for the players to be so motivated, especially if you're playing at home, to not have your supporters, your fans there. And the flip side of that is for the visiting team, it's probably a lot easier because they're not dealing with all of the, anger coming from the opponent's side. So it's got to be so strange to be playing to.
I don't know this, Duke. I think in the stadium, I think the players hear the sound of the crowd. I think they do. I think they put that in to make the players feel more comfortable. So I wonder if that even phases them whatsoever, or they just tune that out, or they maybe not even rather hear it. It'd be interesting to ask an athlete what they thought about that.
Yeah. I'd like to ask an athlete
But
that
certainly,
as well.
I think, at least from what I saw in baseball, it seems as if the players, they're going on as if it's business as usual, and they've kind of adapted to it.
When I go in to record the song, I think I'm going to put crowd sounds, people cheering for me.
Well, You know what? What I would do is I would get 10 people together. You know the way Queen did "We Will Rock You."
That I heard.
I would get.
Go ahead. Tell me how that happened, because I think I don't know if I heard the same thing you heard.
Well, apparently, I don't know. I wasn't there, but from what I read, I don't know who orchestrated, but they got on top of a grand piano and they stomped their feet and they clapped their hands. But I was thinking, whether they did that actually or not, you could do that, but instead of having them say "We Will Rock You," have them say "What say you?" Maybe that would work. So, what did you hear? Out of curiosity.
Amy is the Queen aficionado. What did you hear? How did they record
I actually heard about the grand piano as well.
Okay. What I heard was that they went into an actual arena, like Madison Square Garden or something like that, and got hundreds of people to do and recorded a crowd of people doing that.
I mean, that would have been the best way to do it, but I never heard that. I've heard about the grand piano.
I could be wrong.
We'll have to, yeah, or we could be wrong. Have to read about that.
My sources may not be reliable.
All right.
Duke recently wrote a new song, and we know nothing about it. You and I, Ken, we know nothing about this song.
I didn't even know he was even doing it. It slipped out the other day.
So
I think that's how I met my high school girlfriend. What do you think he's going to do?
So I think, in knowing Duke the way that I do, he's going to do something very different from what everybody else is doing. Currently, during this whole COVID era, everybody is writing about heroes, and I do not believe that Duke will go the same route that everybody else has done. So I think it may be more about accepting change, that everything is changing. I mean, the time is always changing. The weather is always changing. Accepting the change that we as a society are currently going through and putting that to music. That's what I think. What do you think?
I was going to back up and say, do you think, first of all, I don't know this, and let's not assume this. Do you think Duke is actually playing drums on his own song, or do you think he would ask a different drummer?
So it's interesting, because when you were saying Duke is singing on the album, I was going to rudely interrupt you and say, is he also playing drums?
Well, you should have rudely interrupted me. Why didn't you?
Because I didn't want to be rude.
No, we're rude on this. It's called the Upbeat Hang. You didn't know that? We just changed the name yesterday. My question to you is, do you think before Duke records in the studio, he's going to roll his sticks?
Right. Duke will definitely roll the sticks.
He will definitely roll the sticks. Do you know what that means, dear?
I was going to say, do you know what that even means?
Does it mean play?
No. So, and it's nothing perverted either. So get your mind out of it.
Uh-oh, I lost you.
Amy, don't do it. There's
back.
Something worth living for. Don't jump.
I'm turning my screen. I'm so sorry about that.
Did you get so excited at the thought of the song that you just lost yourself?
No, it was about rolling the sticks. I thought that was very intriguing.
You know what's going to be funny? Watch if he names the song "Rolling the Sticks." That'd be hysterical, wouldn't it?
That would be quite funny. You know what? Actually, I remember.
You're being rude. You're being rude.
I know. I'm going to continue to be rude. I remember prior to actually joining you, lovely gentlemen, on this podcast, I remember listening to one of your podcasts, and that was one of the discussions was about Duke rolling the drumsticks prior to purchase. I do remember that.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you do. So I guess my first question to you is, do you think he's going to play drums on it?
I have to say yes, because Duke is very much of a perfectionist and very technical and likes things the way that Duke likes things. So unless he can find a person who is very, very similar style player, then it will be Duke.
Well, now, wait a minute. How do you know he won't go for someone who's like a completely different player from Neil Peart? How do you know he wouldn't go for someone who's completely different in the way he plays?
I don't think that Duke does that. But I could
I'm
be
going to go
wrong.
on a limb. I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to take a guess that I think he's going to have a guest drummer. That's my prediction. Remember, it's one track. He's looking for something that I'm going to go on a limb. We know he's going to sing it. He's going to be the lead singer. So the first question is, will Duke play drums on his own song? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he's going to have a guest drummer. And you are going to say?
I'm saying yes.
Okay, yes, all right. Now, do you know? Because I know because he told me, he being Duke. Do you know who all the musicians are will be on the track?
I don't. It was never discussed with me.
You're not under oath here, okay? So
It was never.
For those listening and watching, Amy, I asked Amy to sing backgrounds on it. There are other
I can't
singers
wait.
as well, but Amy's one of the
now, and
background
Duke,
singers.
I would say, if I remember correctly, mentioned at least 5 or 6 other people that you would know who will be on this record. Do you think Duke will do any backups? Not lead, backups. Do you think he'll do some of his own backups or leave it to his entourage?
I think he'll leave it to the entourage.
Okay, I'm gonna agree with you on that. I'm gonna agree with you on that. Although I do think when everyone leaves, he's gonna go back and add a little subtle track in there. Now, other question is gonna be is do you think Duke will play anything but drums? Something else besides drums on the track?
Well, no. I know that Duke plays a little bit of guitar, but I remember having a discussion and Duke saying that he's not really, he kind of just fiddles around with it rather than actually plays the guitar. So I don't think that there will be another instrument.
Remember I told you I think he's gonna have some percussion? My prediction is he's gonna play percussion on the song. I think this is a long shot, I think, folks. I think Duke is gonna have a different drummer and he's gonna play percussion for himself. I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong, but we're gonna see. So
What
we'll
kind
go
of
with
percussion are you thinking?
Well, if it's Steely Dan, I'm going to take a guess. It's not going to be something like a hand drum. So I'll say that much. I don't think it's going to be like congos or I love when the percussion guys talk because they accent it like when
They
you
say
can talk
conga.
yeah, conga. Like I was talking to someone the other day who has like a Midwest accent. All of a sudden they go mozzarella. I'm like, wait a minute, you're from the Midwest and you became Italian in like 1 second. So I don't think he will play any conga. Or there's another one that Duke talks about that's it looks like a long soda can. Duke, what's the name of that thing?
What, the shaker?
No. You hit it with your hand, but it looks like a timbali. Not timbali, a octagon, but you hit it with your hand, and it's big down at the bottom. It's a little like maybe 6-inch diameter, if even that, at the top. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, I'll get back to you on that. I know what that thing is. I heard someone talk about it. So I think, thank you for the help on that, Duke. That was helpful. I think we will. I'm going to say percussion and no drums. So you are not in sync with me on this. So you're going to go with
No. Actually, I was going to right before you said percussion. I was going to say he may pick up a couple of little percussion things around because I know that a lot of lead singers do that. I know that I do not play any instruments other than percussion, light percussion, and that I think that may be the route that he takes.
You think it's going to be jazz, blues, rock, or fusion? Take your pick of the 4. Again, jazz, blues, rock, or fusion.
I'm going with like soft rock.
Soft rock, okay. I have a funny feeling I think it's going to be blues-based. Slightly blues, not heavily. I think it's going to be a little bit of blues-based.
Okay. I like blues.
And again, we're going to go back, folks, once the record is released and Duke comes back from tour. We're going to go back and we're going to check our answers. So for the record, I said blues-based and you said?
A soft rock.
Soft rock, okay. All
right.
Will there be, and I'm going to say, and Duke, I don't think you told me the answer to this. Oh, okay. I'm going to ask you, Amy. Will there be horns on this single? I'm going to say yes.
I believe there will definitely be horns. I believe there will be a saxophone.
Okay, you're going to go with, okay, I'll go with saxophone, so we're on the same page there with that.
Yep.
So we know there's going to be horns. We differ on the drummer and we differ on the genre. Now, you indicated at the very top you think that what about the lyrical content?
Right. So first of all, I need to know, Duke, if you could just let us know, did you write the music or the lyrics first?
Or both.
The music first.
The music came first. Okay.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
I wrote the music, and this could be the next question, but maybe Ken has this, as the next question. But what instrument did I write the song on?
That's a good one.
I'm going with guitar. for that.
I will go with conga. No, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with piano. Believe it or
Keyboard.
not,
Okay.
I'm gonna go with piano. But by the way, Duke, do you know anyone who ever wrote a song on a conga? It would be something positive and subtle, and I don't think it's going to be like I don't think it's going to be something like Quiet Riot screaming out in your face, certainly, at least from what we
Right.
know of the record. So I will agree with you on that. So you and I are in sync on that. So, folks, what we did was Amy and I just went through this song, which if I took a wild prediction, I'm going to say it's going to be a great song. I think it's going to be really good because we know Duke is a fantastic musician. He works more than any drummer that I know. So, Amy, what we're going to do is when the song's released, we're going to come back on here. We're going to play it, or at least a portion of it, and we're going to check our homework and see how we did.
Awesome.
And we know that Duke told us we're warm, so I'm interested to hear what parts were warm on or cold on or hot on. So we'll come back to this whenever it's released. And Amy, I'm sure on your behalf, Duke, we certainly wish you the best with that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.